What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are all having a good day or night, depending on where you are, or morning. Few things I want to mention real quick before I get into this update video. Number one is that some of this news isn't going to be all from today. Some of this is going to be from a few days ago. And the reason is because I have not had a chance to make the update video, as I've been pretty busy with other things, as well as feeling under the weather. The season, is changing, and it's been a lot of rapid increases and decreases to the temperature. It's been crazy, so my allergies have been acting up, and if people in my house were sick, so we have that potential going around, like a cold or something. I don't know, but that's part of the reason why I haven't made the video, and that's obviously, other than that, being busy. So some of this information, like I said, it's going to be days old, about a week ago as well. And some of this information is new from today, so don't think that it's all old information. If it was all just old information, I probably wouldn't be making this video because it'd be irrelevant at this point. But I figured I'd include it for those who don't know every single detail that comes out and, wants to know some more of the things that they have announced, confirmed by Capcom themselves. So that's number one. Number two, I will be streaming again starting this week coming up. You could follow me at twitch.tv/blackfox2240. That'll be it. The link will be in the description below. Feel free to follow me. My goal is to start speedrunning seriously this time Resident Evil 2 Remake. I've been wanting to actually get some records, or not world records per se. I would like to get a world record, but I'd like to have my own personal records for like speedrun.com and whatnot. So that's going to be my first goal. And I will also, of course, be streaming Resident Evil 3 Remake and Resistance when they launch in less than a month, April 3rd, which is crazy to me that we're that close, and that's why we've been getting so much information lately. And I will definitely be playing with you guys, both on PlayStation and Xbox. I'll be getting both versions of the game. So I will be streaming them on Twitch, like I said, and, try to have some of you guys join, to play Resistance together. I think that'll be a ton of fun. So again, my Twitch link will be in the description below. Feel free to follow me. First thing I will be doing is speedrunning Resident Evil 2 Remake. Hopefully I could get that all set up and start doing that, on Monday. So, just wanted to get some of those things out the way. So, yeah, as I mentioned, we're less than a month away from Resident Evil 3 Remake releasing, as well as Resident Evil Resistance. And that means a lot of information. Number one, biggest important thing, and I know you guys probably all know this, is that yes, we are getting a demo. They haven't said when it's coming out, but 2 days ago, on Wednesday, today's Friday, Kat, the community manager for Resident Evil, for Capcom UK, she did a stream of Resident Evil 3 Remake, which I put up a video to archive it because they haven't uploaded it to YouTube. Feel free to check that out as well. And that was awesome seeing, it's also always seeing Kat do, a stream. It's been a while, I think. I think the last stream they did was for Resident Evil 4, I think, on the Switch. I'm not 100% sure. Hopefully they do more streams on the Resident Evil channel, but she did a stream showing off some things for Resident Evil 3 Remake, and it was cool because it was an actual live demo. Now, I'm going to assume that that's probably the demo that we're going to get, similar to how she played the one-shot demo that didn't have a timer. We got the version that had a timer, which I thought was annoying. Hopefully we don't have a timer for the upcoming demo of Resident Evil 3. So I'm assuming that that's probably going to be the demo. That's probably what we're going to be able to play. Maybe we'll be blocked off from certain things, because she was saying during the stream that she wouldn't be showing or going into certain areas because it would be kind of spoilerish. But it didn't look like she was blocked off from it, so I'm assuming that she may have been playing the full retail release, or a demo with no restrictions. Not 100% sure, but I assume a lot of that will be in the demo that we play, because that looks like the beginning of the game. So, will we actually get to play fight against Nemesis in the demo? Probably not. I would like to, but probably not. It'll probably be very basic, just zombies, maybe Drain Demos. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see with that, but they did also say, she said, I should say, that the demo's not ready. That they're still working hard on it, and it's not quite ready just yet. So, maybe the middle of March, maybe the end, right before the release of the full game. We'll have to see. But yes, we are getting a demo, and I'm so damn excited for that, and I'll definitely be covering that on the channel. As soon as it goes live, I'll be streaming it. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Obviously, that's not new news, but the fact that they talked about it 2 days ago, again, is new. So we are getting a demo for Resident Evil 3. Also, some more things here, that they will be getting rid of the choices that you have. So during the original Resident Evil 3, there are multiple spots where you can make a choice, and it impacts sometimes the path of the game and also the enemies that you face or may not face, and sometimes it alters Nemesis's locations. Because for those who are familiar with Resident Evil 3, the original, especially the speedrunning scene, if you either watched it or speedrun yourself, or even casually play and you just, very observant to the game, that is the most RNG heavy Resident Evil. There are so many random factors in that game that speedrunning it could be a nightmare. Just because something can go wrong anytime. Now, obviously, decisions are fixed, but, the way Nemesis acts, the way, zombies can act, the spawns of them, passwords, answers for certain puzzles, RNG. There are not an infinite amount of patterns, but it's still multiple. And speedrunners, not really me, because I'm not super skilled with Resident Evil 3 speedrunning, but the ones that are really can determine like the pattern right off the bat. The one I'm best at is just the RPD to get the stars key, and that's because it's only 4 combinations, and if you write them all down, how are you going to get it wrong? So yeah, there aren't going to be any changes, and there aren't going to be any choices, I should say. And the reason is for that is because they said that they wanted to tell a consistent storyline. And I think that's fine, because I think that since this game is going to be bigger and, more robust, and, it's going to be more cinematic, because it's, the times and the graphics and the way that the cutscenes are and everything, I think it's fine. I'm not really too bothered by it. We also know that, and this isn't new news, that Mercenaries has also been cut, and it's mainly going to be supplemented by Resistance, which, you could say that's better or not, that's up to you, but, a few things are being cut from this, and, I mean, personally, I'm not too bothered by no choices. I thought it was a cool mechanic, but if it helps reduce the RNG, I'm all for it. I hate the RNG of Resident Evil 3. Like, it's cool because you'll see certain cutscenes that you don't normally see, or face certain enemies in areas that you wouldn't normally see, but at the same time, again, for speedrunning, it's a nightmare. You are going to be able to dodge, so dodging is returning from Resident Evil 3. They said that they wanted to keep the more action-oriented routes that Resident Evil 3 originally had for the remake, so you will be able to dodge, and I found this out during the stream, that it's R1. So they've been demoing the PS4 version. So it would be R1 for PS4 and RB for the Xbox One. So you press R1 or RB, depending, what you're playing on, right before you're about to get attacked, and you're able to dodge and get, like, the perfect dodge, which basically allows you to not get hit at all. You can dodge anytime you want with hitting R1, but that doesn't mean it's always going to work. You have to do it at the right moment. And I think it's cool. It looks like the animation was ripped straight out of Resident Evil Revelations 2. The dodge in that game was fantastic, especially when you upgraded it to max. It was near broken. And it's weird to see it as R1 instead of circle. I thought circle was a very comfortable button for it in Revelations. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that you can change, or maybe there's a different control scheme, or maybe circle's used for something else. I'm not 100% sure, but it's R1. It's been confirmed for that. So I think the fact that they do have it makes a lot of sense, considering how crazy Nemesis looks. He's way more aggressive than, he's ever been. And, the fact that you also have to deal with regular enemies at the same time, it's going to make Mr. X look like a joke. And that's exactly why you need that dodge button. So they did say that you can dodge every attack. It's just a matter of getting the pattern now. So obviously hunters are faster. They're able to jump. So you can dodge them, but you just have to know the pattern. And Resident Evil Revelations 1 is a lot like that. Their dodging worked differently. You would move the thumbstick up when you wanted to dodge an attack that was right in front of you, or the thumbstick down with, I think it was A or whatever the button was to do the 180-degree turn, and you could dodge backwards. So you were able to dodge hunters in that game, so I imagine it'll work the same in this. So it is possible. It's not something particularly new, but I do like this perfect dodge system. I think it's going to work really well. And for speedrunning purposes, why do I get the feeling that people are just going to be dodging just to move faster? We'll have to do the math and see if it is faster than actually running. Maybe going, actually no, going into caution, Jill has the animation that Claire does, or any of the female characters do in Resident Evil 2 Remake, so that'll probably still be faster. We'll have to see. A lot of the enemies are returning. Spiders are returning. Drain Demos is returning. Hunter Beta, Hunter Gamma, they're all returning, which is awesome. I'm glad to see the variety of enemies still return. Also the knife. So we know the knife is a staple. It's been in the game since the original. And in Resident Evil 2 Remake, they had an interesting usage. You could use them like regular knives, but they had durability. They could break, and they could be used, I believe it's 2 times with max stamina, or max durability, I should say, as defense weapons. If you get grabbed by an enemy or even a boss, you can use it to stab them to prevent taking damage, but then you lose it unless you kill the enemy or the boss before, if there is still durability in it left for you to grab it again. So in this game, there is no durability. It goes back to being your traditional knife that you can do a knife only run with that one knife only. But there's a caveat. No durability, but you cannot use it as a defense weapon anymore. And it was proven because when Kat was playing and she got grabbed, there was no button for her to press for her to be able to use the knife. Also, you actually have to equip the knife. So in Resident Evil 4, and then they actually went back and they started putting this in all of the future games, and in Resident Evil DS, which was a port of Resident Evil 1, they actually updated it to have the Resident Evil 4 mechanics where you would hold L and you're able to pull out the knife. And that's how it's been in the Resident Evil games ever since 4. You're able to just have the knife anytime you want. You just hold the left trigger or whatever button you have it mapped to, and you can take out the knife. You didn't have to equip the knife. This goes back to equipping the knife, and you're able to use it as just a regular knife like you would back in the day. But again, no durability, and you cannot use it as a defense weapon. So you could, say this is better or worse depending on your playstyle. I think it's interesting. I think it'll encourage more knife-only runs. You're able to do knife-only runs in Resident Evil 2 Remake, but I don't think they really encourage you to do it. Whereas in this game, I could definitely see a lot more people, going for that. So I think that's pretty cool. A big thing to me is that save room music is still here, and I was very disappointed with how it was in the remake of Resident Evil 2, and that's because you entered the room the first time, which is mainly, for most people, it was the the room where you develop the photo room, and you would turn the light on and it would play the music just that one time, and then it would fade away. Unless you have the classic soundtrack on, then it would play every time. In Resident Evil 3 Remake, when Kat was playing the game and she was streaming it, and she entered it in, you heard the more traditional song. So it seems like it's more traditional than the way it was in Resident Evil 2 Remake. And I'm very happy for that. I love the save room music, especially Resident Evil 3, Free from Fear. Free from Fear is one of my favorite ones. If not my favorite, save room music. I love it so much. It's such a relaxing song. And I can listen to it for hours and hours, which I have before. So that's cool to also have back in the game. So let's talk about some of the news that have come out today. Now, all but one of these take with a grain of salt, and I'm going to explain that why in a second. So the first thing is that, well, actually, let me explain this in a better way. So the official Xbox magazine has come out, or someone got a copy of it, I don't know. So they took scans of it and were able to pull information from the article that was about Resident Evil 3. Now, I'm not sure. I like skimmed through it, but from what I've read from other people, they said that these people who have wrote the article may have not played the original or are not familiar with it. So a lot of the things that they say seem kind of like confusing, and they're confusing enemies with others and a whole lot of nonsense. So that's why I say take it with a grain of salt, but I still mention it anyway because some of it will possibly still be true. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought it'd still be interesting to share. But this is the one thing that has been confirmed. So they had said in the official Xbox magazine that Nemesis can break into save rooms. And Capcom confirmed that he will definitely not be able to enter designated safe rooms. Now, I'm going to explain what this means. So, save rooms can have, save rooms are not just a typewriter. So even in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and even Resident Evil 1 Remake, there are places that have typewriters that are not save rooms. For example, in Resident Evil 1, the original, there's a typewriter in the main hall. But that's not a safe room. And the reason is because you could have, you could have a typewriter there, but there's no music, there's no item box, and that's the stuff together that makes it a save room. Once you go into a room that has the song, that's considered a designated safe room. And like I said, even in the newer ones, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil, I forget if Resident Evil 7 has cassette players that have. It's been a little while, but anyway, with Resident Evil 2 Remake, there are rooms that have typewriters that are not save rooms. For example, there's a typewriter in the sewers that the in between right before you get to the alligator that doesn't have item box next to it. It's not considered a safe room. There's no music in there. So they're saying those rooms Nemesis can break into, but the ones that actually play the music with the item boxes and all that, he won't be able to break into. And they had reported it that he'd be able to break into all of them. So that's what they're trying to get people to understand. So once you hear the music, that's a traditional designated safe room. Nemesis cannot break in there. If it does not have the safe room music, he apparently can break in there. He could break down doors. Now, if he actually breaks the doors, that I'm curious about, or if he just opens them. And this is no different to Mr. X, because in Resident Evil 2 Remake, Mr. X can go into rooms that have typewriters as well, as if they're not a designated safe room. For example, you can save in the main hall of the RPD, but there gets to a point in the game where Mr. X can follow you there, and he can attack you there. That's the point. And even though there's an item box in there, and I guess that kind of contradicts a little bit of this, there's no save room music in there, right? But there is an item box, so it's almost a traditional save room, but there's no music. That's the true sign of it being a designated safe room. And he can attack you in there. You can save the game, and he'll still be patrolling the area when you load it back up. It's not like he disappears. So, yeah, that's the confirmed thing today. And here's some of the other things that were talked about that not 100% are confirmed, but can be confirmed, potentially, if they are true. So they said that the developers use Mr. X as a way to gather feedback on Nemesis, that their goal was to make a more, tense foe than Mr. X in Nemesis. Also, this has also been confirmed. I should have mentioned this. I saw this during the stream that Cat did. There are barrels, explosive barrels, electrical barrel, stuff they could shoot that have electricity, and different hazards like that to help you with the enemies. And obviously in the original Resident Evil 3, there were explosive barrels, so that's cool to see that return. So I'm happy for that. And also, downing Nemesis does still give you items. He drops down to one knee, and he will drop items. So there still is a reward for fighting him. But of course, as with the original, you can run away from him and not fight him if you don't want to. So, let's see here. Trying to see some of the other things. I'm gonna link the link of this article in the description below if you guys want to check it out. The Gravedigger is also confirmed to be in the game. Again, some of this stuff I'm not going to say is 100% true. Nemesis AI is designed to actually not be relentless. His AI works to dynamically telegraph his moves and give the player breathing room, despite, you know, how crazy he seems to be. Certain areas in the game give you an excuse as to why Nemesis can't follow you, giving you a breather. But one of the main goals with the remake was to make him a consistent threat, not always chasing you, but the possibility that he could chase you still stays true there. Spiders are also apparently confirmed to be in the game, have the tendency to scuttle all over the place, sometimes towards you or away from you, or drop onto you from the ceiling. Raccoon City is much bigger than it was in Resident Evil 2 with multiple paths. Jill can unlock more pathways in the subway system to new parts of the city as a form of fast travel. That was the thing that I thought was very interesting. Capcom did confirm that Raccoon City is huge. It will have some things that are reminiscent of the original Resident Evil 3, but a lot of places that you couldn't explore that you now can explore. So that's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see that. There are a lot more side tasks available to the player, including a weapon that requires you to backtrack in order to obtain it. Carlos is playable and has more playable sequences, but he doesn't have his own campaign. That, I believe, was confirmed, though. There may be a couple new monsters in the game that weren't in the original. Capcom is focused on having one consistent story rather than different events that can unfold. That said, the devs did a lot to make the story more in-depth and stand out. Jill, Nemesis, and the UBSC are more fleshed out than the original. The game takes place a day before and after Resident Evil 2, and you may see some before and after, which that obviously was a thing confirmed a long time ago. So yeah, the fact that there's a potential fast travel system, a lot of the classic enemies returning. Obviously, we know Nemesis is going to be crazier than Mr. X. They also confirmed that there's a lockpick in the game because during Catch Stream, I'm just kind of like going a little bit around now. There's a lot of different things confirmed in the game. There is lockpicks. They confirmed that the game's gonna be kind of like Metroidvania-ish in the sense that, you know, kind of like the classic Resident Evils, but, you know, this is an open city, so it makes it kind of feel like more Metroidvania in the sense that you got to go backwards, and, you know, you get items that you need for things that you didn't have at the time. You're gonna go back, and obviously that's classic Resident Evil at its core. But to be done in a fully fleshed out city, I can't wait to see that. That was even Outbreak was like seemed bigger in the way that the style of Outbreak was with the city and getting the items and doing the objectives you needed to complete each scenario. So having it in just an actual mainline title, Resident Evil, a bigger city, more things to do, dynamic AI, more enemies. Also, they did confirm that there are moddable weapons that you can still add things to the weapon, like Resident Evil 2 Remake. So they show that Jill can get like a red laser sight on her handgun. So it's gonna be awesome, guys. I'm so freaking excited, and I did not mean to make this video so long. I apologize, but there was some things to talk about. That's pretty much it. Again, I'm gonna link the article below in the description. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm sorry for making this such a long video, and I'm sorry for not getting some of these, you know, some of this information out sooner. But again, a lot of this did come from today, but I just kind of wanted to mix my thoughts in it. Overall, I'm excited and happy about all the things that I'm hearing. I actually hope that all of these things that are said are true, because none of it seems bad. It all seems pretty damn good. I'm excited, guys. It's going to be great. Again, stay tuned to the channel for more Resident Evil 3 Remake and Resident Evil Resistance and any other future Resident Evil coverage. And I'm going to be streaming RE3, RE Resistance, and of course I'm going to be speedrunning starting next week Resident Evil 2 Remake on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/blackfox2240. Can't even speak. And I hope to see you guys there. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on all this news coming up? Also, of course, I'll be covering the demo of Resident Evil 3 Remake. So I'm excited. It's going to be great. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.